So you won't get very far when you're doing any kind of DIY before you're going to end up finding yourself having to find where a stud is in your wall. And all of us are familiar with using these stud finders. And the way that these stud finders work is once you put it onto the wall, you push down the button. What it's going to do is it's going to do an initial calibration. And then once it's done that initial calibration, then as you move it along the wall looking for that stud, it's looking for a density change. And once it finds that density change, then it's going to alert you that it believes that it has found the edge of a stud. And I can tell you that pretty much all of the ones that I've used in the past, the ones that most people own, they're really not that accurate. And I'll show you here where I'll get an initial reading of where the stud is, and then I'll move the stud finder down just a little bit, start over to the side a little bit, and bring it back towards where that first reading was. And you'll see that they don't line up exactly right. So the stud in the wall is not going to be crooked like the stud finder might be saying that it is. It's just picking up that density for whatever reason faster than it did on the initial run. And that's why they are not always the most accurate. They'll get you close, but they might not get you right on the money where you want to be. So the product that I'm talking about and am now using is this funky little device right here. This is called a StudPop. And the way that this works is, like the Stud Buddies, it uses a magnet in order to find those screw heads in the wall. So you know it's going to be incredibly accurate once it finds a screw head. But a big difference between this and some of those other products that use magnets is this has a really, really strong magnet in it. And it's also very sensitive to where you're going to get a reading on a lot of those walls, like the plaster and the lath. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'll show you exactly how it works. Let's go. So I'm going to start out by finding an approximate area on the wall where I want to either put a hole or maybe I want to put a screw into a stud. Generally they're 16 inches on center. Sometimes they can be up to 24 inches. That's why I want to go at least 24 inches side to side in order to see if I can find one. And as I'm making my lines, if I don't find one right away, I'll just move it down a couple of inches and go in a zigzag pattern until I find one. And then as you can see, once it locates a screw, that little centerpiece pops right up and you can actually hear it pop to where you know that you've got a screw there. Now, if you want to just make sure that you've got a stud there, what you can then do is just go straight up and down in a line. And when you do that, you're going to find each of those screws in that stud that are then also holding either other sheets of drywall up or that same sheet of drywall that you're about to go into. What's really nice about these things, instead of using one of these, is there's no calibration, there's no batteries, there's really just no room for error. It's just physics that are working in your favor to alert you as to what you're looking for. At the time of filming this video, I believe I picked this up for around $11. I really wanted to bring this to y'all's attention in case you hadn't seen it before because it is a really helpful device. And of course, I'll have links down in the description down below where you can check one out for yourself. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know by giving the video a thumbs up. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down in the comment section as well. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. See ya.